Yo, what's happening, everybody? We're back with another episode of Too Much Fantasy Football. We're here on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. All of the fun, all of the information, football 24/7. It's another episode of Walking the Wire. It's your host. It's me. It's Brian. We're here to talk about the waiver wire, the madness that's going on. How do we get through it? It's week 6. We're starting to sniff playoffs for some of us. Whether you got one win, maybe you're undefeated. Probably not. I haven't seen a lot of undefeated teams this year, but we've got to make it through. We got to work through a little bit of waiver wire talk today. See which players are picking up. We've got to trade. I know. Deadline's coming up soon, so hopefully we get a few more. But yes, Joe Flacco on the move. I imagine that's going to be the hot topic that's going on today. But of course, I'll be going through quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, some defenses maybe, talking about those streamers. You have any thoughts, questions, concerns, toss them in the chat. We usually get going with a lot of trade talk, a lot of start sit talk, a lot of, what should we do here? Throw it at me. Let me have it. Load up that chat as fast as you can. We've got a lot of fun happening here. But yeah, of course, I think the Joe Flacco news, it's been on my mind all day. I got the tight end article that I've been working on, trying to get that up and running for this evening. But Joe Flacco. Is T. Higgins rosterable again? I know I've been saying over the last little bit, T. Higgins and 10-man leagues. I'm okay dropping him. I'm okay moving on from him. But now at this point with Joe Flacco, does it change his tune? Like, is anything really that much better? Like, we're going to put an immobile 40-year-old quarterback back behind that line? I get it, but like, come on. It can't get any worse than it did, can it? Can it? No, there's no way. Absolutely no way. Well, hopefully not anyway. But yeah, we're going to be working our way through that. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, toss them in there. Something we can talk about, something we can break through, whether you want to talk about maybe the booms, the busts, all those fun players. Starting off, though, I guess, as far as injuries go, Amari Hampton kind of came out of nowhere. We saw him leave the game in a boot. That was pretty rough. That was not a great time there. But IR, man. IR for Omari and Hampton. As we lose Najee, like everything was moved apart. Like the seas were spread. We're ready for him to go in there and give us a top 5 running back season. We lose Joe Alt for a little bit. They lost Rashawn Slater. We got lost early in the season. Dang, man, it's rough. It's got to be rough to be a Chargers fan. They've had some good teams over the last 10, 20 years. Philip Rivers being behind it for most of them, but like finally they've got Herbert, got another franchise guy, and they're not getting over the humps, and it's not fun. It's not fun. All right, let me make sure we've got all of this. Got everything turned on. Sweet. We'll get the comments clicked up here. Nice. So, folks, let's talk quarterbacks. Let's start here. I mean, at this point, are we really starting Joe Flacco? Like, are we ready to jump all over at that point? Because I don't think I am. As far as bye weeks this week, we've got Texans on bye. Got Vikings on bye. You weren't really starting these, quarterbacks outside of Superflex. Like CJ Stroud, I could see how you're plug and playing him. He had a great week last week. Absolutely blew the doors off of. But I don't see him starting. Like, you're not starting JJ McCarthy / Carson Wentz right now. You're probably not starting CJ Stroud in most setups. So I don't know if you quite need to fill in from there or if it's just from injury. But Sam Darnold, Matthew Stafford probably going to be top of my list as far as guys I'm going to be looking at from the quarterback position, looking to stream those positions. Stafford, absolutely a great matchup this week. Pretty pumped for him. As far as just like, what was it last week? It was 4 touchdowns last week, I believe it was. So yeah, pretty excited for him. He gets the Ravens. I mean, you look in the Ravens, you think, oh, yikes, it might not be good. But no, they've been letting up some points. They've been doing not so good. Pretty bad. Like, could you imagine if you picked the Ravens to be your Super Bowl pick? What an idiot. What an idiot. Who would be doing that? Yeah. Real great. We got Jason popping in the chat. What's happening, Jason? If Sticky Ricky is out, who to start? We got Wan'Dale Robinson or Shakir. I also got Pollard in my flex. Will you start him or start both Wan'Dale and Shakir? No, Pollard had the best game of his season this past week, which was nice to see. We finally got a win for the Titans. Play the Raiders this week. Pretty decent matchup, so I don't mind that as far as giving you nice floor play. Man, when it comes between those wide receivers, I've got Wan'Dale ranked above Shakir. Oh man, they play the Eagles though. That's hard. Like I don't know what to do right now with Jackson Dart and company. Theo Johnson was a great play if you were able to play him this past week, but going forward, I don't know how much viability you're going to get there. Let me see what else is. Okay, start two. So we get a different one. Gotcha. So here I'm probably going to start Wandale just at the higher seasoning potential. Like Shakir, he's not going off twice in a row. Come on, come on. Maybe though. All right, start number two. So we got start two. We have Pittman. We got Waddle, Rico, and Jalen Warren. I think this is Waddle and Rico. Rico's got the revenge games playing the Cowboys. Cowboys, I mean, they're about like the Ravens. They can't stop anything. And then Waddle, man, he's been absolutely crushing it. I think he's averaging what is I was doing notes on him earlier, 126 yards over the two game without Tyreek Hill. It's been pretty incredible. Where is it at? Yeah, 9 targets a game, 126 yards a game, and then 28.6 fantasy points per game. So Waddle he was a guy for me. I mean, I've got him all over the place. So yeah, love me some Waddle. Next one, we're starting one. Ertz gave me 0 last week. Dude, that was a bummer. I really thought the Ertz problem might adjust getting Jaden Daniels back, but it looks like maybe not. So going for a tight end start. Oh man, we are just talking about Theo Johnson. I don't know if I want to trust Njoku. I know he got heavily targeted. Fannin had 4 targets, I believe. Four, yeah, 3 catches, 4 targets. So Njoku definitely led the way. The tight ends room in general did with. Oh man, but at the same time, they've got a juicy matchup. Like there's a chance. I mean, the Steelers playing the Browns. Like oh man. You know what? I think I'm gonna go. Let me look at my rankings. I haven't finished yet, but probably gonna go Njoku on this one. Njoku or Tonjes. If you like him in the Buccaneers, they should have a pretty good shootout. That over under is pretty high, so I'd probably put it between the two. Got a lot of tight ends there, Jason. Or is this what you're looking at on the waiver wire? Because I was gonna say you're rostering all these fellas. So that's a deep bench. Start one. We got Swift, Rashad White, Rico, Carter, Myers, Terry. Team is deep. Yeah, I can see that. Hell yeah, man. We're going to leave Terry alone. We're going to leave Myers alone. It kind of comes down to White or Rico for me. But give me Rico. He's got the matchup and he's coming off 200 yards. It's freaking absolutely unreal. What else do we have? Start one. We got Juwan, Mason Taylor, John, just AJ Barton. Give me Mason Taylor. Juwan Johnson, over the last 2 weeks, him and Kamara have kind of switched roles. So Kamara wasn't catching anything. No targets in the first few games. Juwan Johnson was getting all of it, and now it's kind of switched. You also have Taysom Hill coming back. So what does he take out of that pie, that Juwan Johnson? I mean, maybe nothing. We saw this past week, he threw a pass and he threw it right to Juwan Johnson. So maybe they work together. But yeah, give me Mason Taylor. He's at 12 targets, 9 catches he had last week. Absolutely incredible work. And who else is he throwing to? It's like Garrett Wilson. That's it. Absolutely, absolutely wrecked. Would you bench James Cook this week? No, I got a little cute and said bench Jamar Chase last week, so I'm trying to watch my tongue. Even though I still stand by it. I stand by it. He absolutely cooked there in the fourth quarter in garbage time, but before that, you were happy you benched Jamar Chase. James Cook, though, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head who they play here. What the hell are the Bills? Oh, they play the Falcons. Nah, I'd play him. I'd play him. Yeah, he had an off game. It was the Patriots. It was a rivalry game, prime time. He's not going to do that too often. He shouldn't. That's what we were talking about in the offseason that we thought we were going to see with some of these kind of regression style games. You need 15 attempts, 49 yards. Wouldn't have been a bad game had he got in the end zone, but he didn't. So that kind of like ruined your output. I'm going to leave him out there though. Like he's taking you this far, unless you've got just you benching him for Bijan, then I don't know. We got Kendall Jazz coming in here. I'm thinking I drop Troy Franklin for Mason Taylor. I'm thinking that's not a bad move. As much as I like Troy Franklin and the utilization he's getting right now this season, it's not working. Like Bo Nix is bottom of the barrel as far as like deep passes this year, and that's usually where Troy Franklin's going to make his money. There's been several like deep passes they've already had that just haven't connected. So, yeah, give me Mason Taylor. Noah, what you got for us? Oh shoot! All right, Noah was asking about James Cook. You and You and Jason there got the same color, so I thought, oh, we're the same person. But you're talking about should I bench James Cook? Nah, I don't want to overreact. Don't want to overreact. Like I said, he's been doing you pretty well so far. Bench him or Achan though? Grody. Grody. Like, that's the question you're coming at me with? Splitting hairs. Oh, great. Look at this. I've got Achan at 7 and I've got Cook at 8. That is full PPR. Let me see if it changes anything for half PPR. Half PPR, I've got James Cook at 6 and Devon Achan at 7. So go James Cook if you're half PPR. Full PPR, take Achan. But like, it's splitting hairs, man. You're talking about top 10 running backs here. It's hard to get that. Might just depend on his team needs, but in a 12-man full PPR, are any of these names worth number one priority? Coker, no. Haskins. Oh. Again, I kind of say this, I feel like every week, doing a disservice to you folks. Next year, I'll make sure I get back into a league that has priority waivers because little off as far as the usage and the utilization of like how much you really need to put on that. Shoot. Like Coker is like bottom on my list of these three. Mason Taylor I do think needs to be owned, but I don't think he's going to be like top 5 rest of season. You know, I see him being closer to like top 10, which is fine, but it's usually like that also classifies as a streamer. Haskins and Vidal. We got the next 4 weeks potentially, maybe even longer, where we need a workhorse. I don't think there's going to be a workhorse out of this. I think they're going to be splitting it up. We've seen both with pass catching chops. Haskins played with Harbaugh before, you know, like so. There's that. In end of the day, Gus Edwards might be on the bus. He might be on his way downtown just to ruin everything for us. And then it literally just turns in the backfield we had last year. You know, a suspect line and 3 guys that kind of can get it done if you mesh it together. So yeah, if I'm blowing up number one priority here, it's probably going to be on Haskins or Vidal. Probably Haskins, I guess. Yesterday I was saying Haskins was number 2 to Vidal, so I don't know. I'm going back and forth here. Also drop Hawk for Fannin, Njoku, or Taylor. Yeah, I'm dropping Hawkinson. I'm fine with it. And I was just doing... Let me pull it up. But in games that Addison and Hawkinson have been in, Hawkinson's hit a 20% target share just 2 times in the last 12 games. It's not great. So I drop him for Mason Taylor, definitely. Fannin and Njoku, I think they're just going to hurt themselves. Like, if they were one player, if we got all of that from one, it'd be perfect. But it's one position, a rough position to get a lot of utilization from that they're splitting, and it really hurts. So I think there's plug and play ability. Obviously, as we saw last week, both of them were decently used, but I think they're just as equal as Hawkinson. But Mason Taylor, I think there is an upside with him. So give it a shot. Give it a shot. Swing the bat. Look at me. Baseball analogies. I don't even like the sport. Busting them out here on the pod, though. Thanks for listening, everybody, that you are. If you're over here on YouTube, like, subscribe, drop us a comment, all that fun stuff. If you're on Instagram and this is working, nice. It's the first year I've tried that, so hopefully it's working. Or if you're over there on Twitch or X, welcome in. Thanks for listening. Jay Hang, what's happening? Hey, would you trade London, Henderson, and Odunze? All right, what? Oh, Fortet and Bijan Robinson. Ooh, I think I'm doing it. I love London. Like, he's been one of my favorite players over the last year or two. I've just wanted it. I want more from him. I want to be able to have like a great quarterback so we can keep seeing him crushing. It's been fun. Odunze's breakout's been awesome. And I think it continues. Maybe not quite this touchdown a week situation that him and Ibuka's got rocking and rolling, but I think Odunze is for real. I really like him in London. Henderson, I think he's talented. I think he's immensely talented. I just don't know if it's a situation for him. Bijan, though. Bijan's the guy, and then Tet. Dude, Tet's just been unreal with the work. Hasn't found the end zone yet. You'd think like it has to. He has to find it eventually. Maybe he will. Maybe not. Bryce Young, I don't know. I don't know if that's quite the future there, but yeah, I'm pulling the trigger on this. I like this. Oh man. Yeah, Bijan is just such a... I mean, obviously, you probably need a running back here in this situation if you're willing to do it. Probably pretty beefy at wide receiver. It's hard to see Odunze and London go, but like to get Bijan on your team, 100%. Give it to me. Jay Hang, I do it. Let me know if you pull the trigger. And bam, that's it. That's all we got, folks. Cool. As always, throw them in there, whatever you're thinking. Thoughts of the day. Come on. We haven't even talked Joe Flacco trade, people. Where are you at? Yeah, there we go, Jason. Pop in here. Because I want to talk some Flacco. I was ready to, I was dropping T. Higgins in most leagues. I still think I might be, but I'm not quite sure. Sounds like a trade. What do we have? Guy wants Kyron or Sutton with Myers and White for Nico and Shakir. I don't think I'm doing it. I like Nico. I think he has top. Let me watch how I say this. Top 5, top 10. I still think that's in the wheelhouse for him. Shakir's whatever. Shakir's if I drop him, pick him up if I need to. But the same with Myers. I think Myers is kind of irrelevant at this point. Geno Smith has been not good at all. Three really bad games. We've had 9 interceptions leading the league. So I just don't know if there's any consistency with Myers. And then just Shakir, same thing. Like full PPR, he has his stuff. But Kyron or Sutton. Okay, I think I read that as and. I guess I would do Sutton, Myers, and White for Nico and Shakir. Yeah, I would do that. I'd probably keep Kyron. Just, running backs, they're hard to come by, especially like that. I feel like Kyron and Sutton is better alone right now and rest of the season. He said London, Terry, Carter for Nico, JK, or Shakir. I don't know. Oh, what you got back? Try to convince him Carter, Terry, Myers for Nico and Shakir. But he wants one of London, Kyron, or Sutton. Yeah, if you can hold on to London, I really like that idea. Yeah, I feel you can't do that. If you can get rid of Terry and Myers, or at least get one of those two in the chat or in the trade, absolutely love that. I don't know what the future is for those two guys the rest of the season. And Carter's going to have his role. We have 4 to 6 weeks that Trey Benson's supposed to be out, so I imagine Carter's going to be pretty useful in most of those situations. But yeah, it's definitely difficult to finesse that. If you were trading either Lamar or Mahomes, which one would you trade? Whoever has the highest value, whatever you can get the biggest return for. I wouldn't say these guys are exactly equal. Like my rest of season rankings, I don't have them equal. Lamar is going to be just a little bit above because of the rushing upside, but Patty's got the rushing upside as well. I don't hate it. You'll probably get more back for Lamar, but it also depends what kind of stinks on him right now. The Ravens aren't looking very good. Ooh. So yeah, if you can get a house, you can get a house from Lamar. I do that and keep Patty. Patty's giving you just as much of an upside with the rushing right now. But if your league likes Mahomes more, yeah, sell him. Because I'm okay with either one. If you got them both, I think you're in a pretty good situation there, Noah. Yeah, just looking over here, I've got Lamar 3 rest of season. I've got Patrick Mahomes 8 rest of season, which is kind of hard. I've got Justin Fields ahead of Patrick Mahomes. That one's rough. Yeah, here it is. Z Money. Question of questions right here. Haskins or Vidal. Honestly, go put a 15 to 25% bid on one of them, put a smaller bid on the other, and they're going to add somebody. They have to add somebody else to this team. It won't work with just the two of them and whatever guy sitting on the street. So my biggest worry, can we get somebody good? What if we got a Ken Walker? What if we got a Breece Hall? A couple of guys that are on the last year of their deal. Seems like the teams have no interest in re-signing them. Clearly, the Seahawks don't like freaking Ken Walker because they continue to just why is the workload split like that? Z Money, that's not what you came to ask for, huh? That's not what we're asking. I go Haskins is probably my number 1 over Vidal. But I don't want to spend a whole lot. I don't think that you are going to get consistent work out of just one guy. I think it's going to be a combination, and it's probably going to be ugly. Did Chuba get a spot taken? I have him. Should I try and get any value I can? Yes, I guess is the short answer. Leading into last week, the injured week, there was already talks, like you were already seeing Rico Dowdle carve into the role more and more. So we had him as a pickup on this show before the injury anyway, just as a more of a speculative ad, not quite a player that you could flex, but a player that, hey, it's rising. So I think at this point it's probably going to be more of like a 60-40 split. Chuba Hubbard's, I mean, they just paid him, he's going to get that 60, but I think Rico Dowdle's going to carve out a role, and if he's more the pass catching back, that might be the more valuable position. You might be looking at like a running back 2, running back 3 situation going forward, especially if the passing game's not going to be anything. But if you can get decent value in return for him, I'm down for it. I mean, how many people in your league mates are really going to buy him? I guess that's the issue. Whew. All right. What else we got, folks? Got another 30-ish minutes here. Again, tell us anything you want in the chat. We've got comments, we've got trades, we have pickups, anything like that. Going through just kind of pick up players. We talking about quarterbacks early, kind of Sam Darnold and Matthew Stafford would be the ones we're really looking at. Running back, Rico Dowdle, just talked about here a second ago, but he's out there, 35% of leagues. If you're in a 10-man league, Rico Dowdle needs to be picked up. Michael Carter definitely needs to be picked up. And then again, these running backs for the Chargers. Mathiasen, what's happening, buddy? How are you feeling after that first quarter with Addison? I was sweating for you. Sam Darnold won the week for me by a mile, so that Chuba Pacheco doesn't matter. Or Chubb Pacheco. Yeah, that's nice. Pacheco, man, I don't know what to do with the Chiefs backfield either. That's another one of those anomalies. Like, making some money on Kareem Hunt because his line's so low, but 7 for 36 last night for Pacheco. Caught 3 balls, 20 yards. It was gross. Sam Darnold definitely came through. We were just talking about him. Pretty decent stream this week. Z-Money. How about Ladd? What's your thoughts on him? Love him. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, shouldn't have had bubbles before this. Ladd, I'm actually big on Ladd. The hard thing is it's hard to say, I feel like, buy him low. You might have some people that see that great week and are like, ooh, let me flip him. Let me turn him around. I'm all about it. Let me get more Ladd. Right now we're missing their 2 starting tackles. Technically 2 left tackles because they moved their right over to, Joe Alt slid over. But without those tackles, we don't have the ability to let the play develop. We're not seeing Justin Herbert being able to really throw the ball. QJ was the biggest, we got to see that this past week. They just don't have time to really let things develop. And now with the running back being hurt and Omari and Hampton, they're going to have to do short, shallow stuff. And I think Keenan Allen and especially Ladd McConkey should be the immediate beneficiaries of this. Rondé Gadsden, fingers crossed, man. I hope he gets in the action a little bit, but really excited for Ladd going forward. If you can buy him on the cheap, really excited because his metrics aren't bad, folks. He hasn't been performing worse than he did last year. He's just competition. He's a little slot guy, so that's all it is. But I think the offense should change over the next month or so, which should leave him with a good situation. Or maybe a good defense to start. Are you talking about trading one of those guys for defense? I mean, it's not often you see a defense up for trade, but if you can make a good one happen, I'm cool with it. Cool, Corey. We're having great conversations about waiver pickups, maybe a trade that happened, and you're coming in here asking rest of season rankings on a defense. Come on, man. What are you doing to me? You're gonna make me tell people. Let me pull those up for you. Corey, though, our fearless leader, one of our fearless leaders here over at the Fantasy Football Advice Network. He's got something pretty cool coming at us pretty soon. The new social platform. Not OnlyFans, is that what it's called, Corey? No. Sellout Crowds, that's what it's called. No, we'll have that up and running here pretty soon, folks. As I stall, where do I have? I got Bills at 12 rest of season, and then we're looking at Broncos. I got Broncos at the top, so yeah, give me Broncos rest of season. Honestly, I don't know why you don't have the Colts, Corey. That's the answer to everything. It's the Colts. Let's go, Andy. Thiasen coming back too. I was going through it. I started Aaron. Dude, like one of the first things I thought of when I saw Addison didn't do anything snapshot in the first quarter. I was like, dude, he's probably going through it. Absolutely through the ringer. It was a good one though. Glad he kind of figured it out. Allen has a good shot of missing week, so be patient on Ladd. Dude, don't do that to me. I've got so much Keenan Allen right now. I know I need to sell some Keenan Allen because I am worried that just something, whether it be age, injury, whatever it is. Besides my own league, I have Rice in every league. Need him to be my league winner. I've been trying to buy. I've been trying to buy everywhere, folks. If you're undefeated, if you got one league, one loss, maybe even two losses, go check the price. Go check the price of Rashi Rice. Only one more week that he's going to be out, so I doubt they're going to be selling him. They held on for 5 weeks. It's probably it, but they're in a pickle. You never know. I have the Bills, but Denver is out there on waivers. I guess how deep's the? Let me pull up those remaining schedules here, at least the next few weeks, because right now we got the Bills coming up, Bills, Atlanta, and then the bye week in Carolina, Kansas City. They'll be decent 2 of the next 3 weeks, but 2 of the next 4 you won't, and then you got Denver on the other side. Let's check out them. So right off the bat, Corey, you're not doing good, man. I'm already leaning Denver a little bit here. Denver's got a bye in week 12. Jets, Giants, Dallas, Houston, Vegas. Yeah, I want Broncos. Give me the Broncos for the next little bit. I don't mind the Bills. I mean, hell, see if you can trade them. Maybe if somebody buy the Bills from you. I got Allen stock too. I feel you right there, holding that bag. It's funny, man. Last year it was Odunze for you last year that we were going out there to try and grab for the playoff run. He's paying off right now. But is it going to be Addison for you? You chasing some Addison stock the rest of the season? That'll be pretty good. Folks, let me know. So we've got Joe Flacco going to Cincinnati. I want to know how you're feeling. How are we addressing T. Higgins? I've sat on the show for the last week or so talking about how I'm willing to drop him. I'm willing to let him go, especially in 10-team leagues. 12, it might be a little different if you need him, but does Joe Flacco really change things? Was he supporting multiple wide receivers or multiple targets at all over the last few weeks in Cleveland? Really? Now, talent is immensely better, but the offensive line is not. Like, he's going to get attacked worse than, like, Mark Sanchez is behind that line. So, does he even last? You know, we're going to see Jake Browning in, like, 4 weeks. Ooh, you never know. Let's pull up some more waivers while we're thinking, stewing on some trade talks and all that fun stuff. Wide receiver, Kendrick Bourne. I'm not spending a lot, but I'm willing to play him, especially if his buddy Mac Jones is out there. Romeo Dobbs, if you have to. Like, he's kind of in that like the same breath as Troy Franklin. If you need him, if you need to start, not necessarily adding him to my team for depth or anything like that. I'd probably rather have one of these backup running backs like the Giddens, the Ollie Gordons, the Ray Davis, Algiers, Gainwell, Spears, Davis. You know, I'd rather have all of those backup running backs, I think, over the Slayton, the Bond, the Coker. Like, Bryce Young has been horrible at throwing the deep ball. Absolutely horrible at throwing the deep ball this year. Up there with Bo Nix, or down there with Bo Nix, however you want to look at the chart. So what does Coker actually have to jump into if there's nobody to throw the ball to him? Luther Burden, that might be more fun speculative ad. Does he actually come on this year? I don't know. Maybe not. But that at least seems more enticing than what you can get from Coker right now, or maybe even Bond. Like, Dylan Gabriel. Is that... I'm not going to lie, folks. I'm kind of looking at Dylan Gabriel as far as, like, taking us over in passing yards this week just because he's playing Pittsburgh. But that's a whole different show. And if you want to see that show, it's over on the other YouTube channel, the Fantasy Football. Too Much Fantasy Football. Yeah, doing props over there. Doing some over here. But I'm allowed to say bad words over there. So check it out over there. We're doing pretty good so far this season. 19-4 on the show's picks. Brennan's doing all right. He's not quite there, but folks, he's learning from the best here. So we'll get you there. But yeah, interested in props, stuff like that. Check it out. Back to the waiver wire, though, of course, because that's what we're supposed to be talking about, Brian. Tight ends. Did everybody go get Darren Waller? Did you rush to it and go pick him up? Because I know I did. I got him in way too many leagues, and I'm pretty pumped about it. But if he's still available, go check some Darren Waller. Theo Johnson, somebody to look out. Mason Taylor, we've talked about a little bit. Just things you can kick the tires on. Maybe even Tonjes, if you want to go for Tonjes. He was a nice stream this past week. We've got Pearsall, Debo, Addison, Ibuka, Rice, and QT. Probably QJ, but maybe it's QT. He wants to keep it on the QT. Which one would you trade? Also, I'm okay selling Rice if it gets me a low-end RB1 high. Oh, man, don't give up. Hold on. Honestly, QJ is probably the number one trade target for, or not trade target, trade away for me. And it's simply, as I kind of talked about, like the Omarion Hampton issue, the offensive line issue. Can he hold that up? Are they going to have the ability to consistently get deep working routes in for him to have an opportunity? Ibuka, I thought he was going to have a sell high moment. I don't know if there is a sell high moment. Like he just might be high the entire, like it just might be, Bob Marley style, just constantly high. Pearsall, better days are ahead. Better days are ahead. I don't know if you can actually sell too much there. Rice, I don't want to sell him, man. I'm going down with the ship. I'm trying to think of a running back that I would take for Rashee Rice. Like, where is that line? Like, I'd rather have Rashee Rice over Omarion Hampton. I think at this point, with him being out 4 weeks, Rice being out one more week, I'd rather have him over Jalen Warren, ETN, Kyron Williams. I'd rather have him over Brees Hall. I'd rather have him. Quinshon Judkins. That one's interesting. I think I'd rather have Rashee Rice, but I just want so much Judkins. I didn't get near enough of him in the draft season. So yeah, QJ is probably my number one. It depends on what kind of haul you can get for Ibuka. If you can get a haul back for him, I'm willing to sell him, but I don't want to. You got Waller. Yeah, man. Loving the Waller grabs right now. Cheeto. Oh, Cheeto. Love that. It's awesome. Afternoon, gents. In Dynasty, I have Brock Bowers and concerned with his injury. My tight end is pretty weak. I mean, it makes sense. Like when you Brock Bowers, what else you need? Got offered a third and a fourth for AJ Barner. Do I take it or look elsewhere? I don't necessarily want to go buy AJ Barner. He's more of a blocking tight end, and I really like Arroyo. So outside of this transition year before Arroyo might take it over, got offered. Yeah, I think Arroyo is going to take it over there. So I don't know if I really want. I mean, not that third and a fourth really that much in Dynasty, but I don't know. I feel like you might be able to get something better. Let me look at my rest of season ranking. See what we can. Like, can you? God, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I would have said go buy Zach Ertz, and that would have been a great one. He's old, would have been cheap. Ah, man, can you get David Njoku? I guess I just wonder what these prices are. Like, what's David Njoku going for right now in a dynasty league? Like, could you get him for a third or a couple of third and a fourth? I doubt it. Maybe. I bet you could get Theo Johnson for a third and a fourth. Like, I think I'd rather go that route than AJ Barner. I liked him. Was it last year before? Really excited to see what could happen there. But with him being the better blocker or Royal just being an unreal athletic ability, I think I'd probably go there. But yeah, I don't know. Kick the tire, see what else you can get there. I don't like Theo Johnson's young, so you might not be able to get him. Brenton Strange, depending on how long the injury is, might be able to get him. Juwan Johnson. There you or Taysom Hill. Go get Taysom Hill for a third and a fourth. That one would be thanks for the advice. Hope it helps. It's kind of indifferent there. I couldn't really grab a hold of anything, but yeah, I think you might be able to get it. Could you get him cheaper? Could you get AJ Barner cheaper? I don't know. Matthiasen, what you got here? I like my wide receiver room, so I want to trade one for an RB with Bucky being out. Judkins guy lost Hampton. Oh, yes, you're probably not going to get him. Yeah. Could you get Javonte Williams? I kind of thought he was going to be like an 8. Like he was a draft target for me, but I was kind of targeting him for like 8 weeks, and I figured he was either going to fall off or maybe Jaden Blue really cuts into it, and that's not quite happening here. So rest of season, I've got him in my top 12. Like, is that somebody? I mean, I don't think I'd give up Rice or Javonte Williams. It just like the name value kind of hurts that. James Cook, I don't think anybody's given up James Cook. Saquon Barkley, Bucky Irving, Javonte Williams kind of seems like the line that you'd be able to get away, get yourself a running back. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, 'cause what were you looking at? We were looking at Pearsall, Debo, Addison, Abuka, Rice, QJ. Yeah, could you flip QJ for Kyron? I know there's some Kyron owners that are kind of freaked out a little bit just because of Blake Corum. Kind of got put to bed this past Thursday, but in general, that still could be a fear. Cam Scattaboo, I think you can get more for QJ, or you should be able to get more for QJ than that. What else we got here? Debo, maybe trade like a Debo. I still think Kenneth Walker has a chance to blow up. Still holding out hope. Jay Hang, what are we doing? How about London and BTJ for Bijan? I believe in the talent. I do believe in the talent of BTJ. Do I believe that it really amounts to close to what the draft cost should have been? I don't know. I have him up there in my rest of season rankings. It just seems like a lot for Bijan. Then again, when Mooney's out there playing with London, London's numbers are significantly reduced. Where do I have? I've got Brian Thomas Jr. at 20. It's a little lower than I thought, but yeah, I've got him at 20 rest of season. I have him below. Well, I guess I need to update this. I've got him below Quentin Johnson. I'd probably fix that. I've got AJ Brown right there, Jamar Chase right there. It's just a bunch of crap. Amazing players, great talent, and horrible situation. Yeah, I guess do it. Now that I'm looking, you take the name value out when I'm sitting here looking at my rankings. I've got London 4th rest of season, and I've got Brian Thomas Jr. 20th rest of season, and then I've got Bijan. Got him number 1. So it could be a lot to pay, but yeah, go for it. I mean, the rankings support it. I'm one to I wuss out sometimes when it comes to those really big trades, the big trigger pulls. So maybe I'm not the best one to actually ask the gut pulling, the trigger part of it. Matthias, what do we got? I offered Pearsall for Dobbins to guy who has Javonte. He also has Henry and Kyron. Oh wow. Yeah, he might just, it'd be smart to trade him out, but at the same time, I don't hate the hoarding mechanism. Like, it sucks to have, he's probably got, right now he's got Henry and Monty. We're probably riding the bench. But, Dobbins has been a very consistent RB2. Javonte Williams has been a great RB1. Monty's kind of that boom bust-ish RB2. Kyron, similar thing. And then Henry. Come on, dude. Give up Dobbins. I think that's my hardest thing is I have a lot of Dobbins in leagues and I have a lot of Javonte, but I don't have the same. Like I made a kind of a deal with myself that I wouldn't take 2 of those in the same league just in case they didn't pan out or if they fell off quick. Wow, he's last. So he's just taking him down. Taking him down on the ship. That's a bold move there. I'm taking my ball. Screw you guys, I'm going home. That is fully what that is. You guys are going to have to win the league with Michael Carter as your starting running back. That's funny as hell. Yeah, because I wouldn't overpay. Like, screw it. If he wants to take him down with him, let him take it down. But yeah, I wouldn't be Pearsall for Dobbins. Out of what you had up there, I wouldn't pay Addison. Abuka, obviously not. QJ, Rice. I'd do Debo for Dobbins. I think so. I think I would. Maybe. Maybe not. Adams, A.J. Brown, Metcalf, Myers are his wide receiver. That's it. Yeah, Myers is almost irrelevant at this point. A.J. Brown has been irrelevant for most of the season, and Metcalf, his numbers are way better than his metrics are. So, yeah, dude, you got nothing but RB2s here. He's got to trade him out. Pearsall isn't necessarily going to fix his problem, but it's definitely it's going to get him in the right direction. Yeah, maybe you can sell him. How do you get Javonte from him? Because I wouldn't do Abuka or Rice. Yeah, if you can do QJ for Javonte, I'd be all over that. Yeah, I think I would jump on that one if he could. Taking Slayton or Robinson for the Giants, or avoiding altogether. I think 10-team league, I'm avoiding altogether. I think most likely you would end up picking them up, putting them on your bench, waiting to see what happens, and then too afraid to actually pull the trigger, unless you're really in a pickle. 12-team league, yeah, I'm going to take a shot. As far as like wide receivers go, I'd rather have the Corey. What are you doing, man? Did you not see the schedule? Philly, Denver, Philly. I don't know what to do with the Giants, man. I think Theo Johnson, like he's obviously going to be involved. He, tied for the most target shares this past week, 3 touchdowns. But I think I would rather take the shot on Wandale Robinson or Darius Slayton over a Dobbs, over a Isaiah Bond, over a Coker. Kendrick Bourne. I think I'd play Kendrick Bourne over these two. But long term, if you don't need to play Kendrick Bourne this week, I think I would pick up Slayton or Robinson just because they do have a long term option. Don't talk about my pickle. Hey, you said I just couldn't show pictures of it. I can say whatever I want though, as long as everybody's okay with it. Yeah, that's a hard one, man. I really I'm excited for Dart. He looked like a rookie on Sunday. He looked like a rookie. He is a rookie. It was also the Saints defense, so I guess I was wanting a little bit more from him. But we'll see. Maybe I bet he shows out decently in one of the 2 games against Philly. Maybe. Fingers crossed. Probably not. Probably not though. It'll probably be bad. And we're gonna go back and we're gonna watch this video and we're just gonna make fun of me and point at me, huh? Yeah, probably. All right. Yeah, other wide receivers. Like I said, I think I'd rather have the backup running backs. If James Cook goes down, I'd much rather have Ray Davis sitting there on my bench already than I got Romeo Dobbs that I could play at any time and regret it heavily. So yeah, I think at this point of the year, I'm moving towards the running back situation. Hey, Corey brought it up. He wants to talk about some D's. Let's talk about defenses. Let's talk about his pickle there that he is in. He's trying to figure out who to play. Packers defense dropped in a lot of leagues this past week after their bye week, but are they still elite? Are they still great? Probably will be for this one. They play Joe Flacco. Yes, Joe Flacco and the Bengals. That old thing. Where are we at for the Packers? -3 against Dallas. It's not great, Bob. It's not great. But you know what they can do? They can get after the quarterback and they can sack some people, and I imagine they're going to do that plenty to Joe Flacco. That offensive line might be the worst I've ever seen in my life. And, I've watched a decent amount of football, so I've seen some pretty bad offensive lines. I was a Colts fan. I know what offensive line looked like, a bad one looked like for a long time. Andrew Luck got dry humped up and down the field for half a decade. So, yeah, I think the Green Bay Packers are going to be decent play, not as highly owned. The Colts can be picked up, can be played. They're an opportunity defense. They really get after the quarterback as well. They love, they're having every year we see teams that exceed the turnover value. They get more turnovers than they should. Luck just bounces their way, and this year it's happening pretty well for the Colts. As far as interceptions, they've got one in every single game except for week 4. They've got multiple in multiple games, forced to fumble in a couple of games as well. 17, 6, 15, 1, 14. One's against Denver. Come on. But yeah, they play Arizona, and Arizona, they... who do the Harlem Globetrotters play? The Generals, something about the Generals, something like that. Yeah, that's what it looked like the Titans were playing in the second half of that game. Cardinals were a joke. Absolute joke. Jonathan Gannon. Yeah, buddy, you sat down lately because that seat is warm. It's heating up. I thought it was going to be Steichen that was going to be out of the first of them, but no, it might be him. So, yeah, give me the Colts up against Arizona. Oh, Corey, speaking of your pickle, Tingley's in here. Heyo! So the Cook owner in my league is 1-4 and has Pacheco and Brian Robinson. Would it be fair to offer to send them Dobbins, Swift for Cook? Other RBs are Achane, Chase Brown, White, and I'm 5-0, looking to tear it up. Now, would I accept that as the Cook owner? In a vacuum, no. No, I want James Cook over Dobbins and Swift. But if I'm 1-4, there's enough 2-3 teams, maybe a couple 1-4 teams, and it's so like my home league. It usually comes down to the final week. Like legitimately, all of us are usually within 2 or 3 wins. So, which it's fun, but it comes down to the final week, which means we have 0-5 people, 1-4 people, 1-5 teams all the time that still come back and make a chase. So, if that team thinks that they legitimately can make a shot, I could see them taking it. I would definitely send it. There's no reason to send it. There's no rule saying you can't send it. The league might not like it if it goes through, but it's on them. They didn't make the shot. As long as you're not breaking a rule, do it. I send stupid trades all the time. Do they get accepted? Sometimes. Rarely not. But sometimes they do. You never know. When your back's against the wall, people act differently. So, or at least open up the conversation. If you get a quick rejection, be like, hey, are you even open to conversation? Or is this just the ship's going down? You got a hole in it and just, anchors away, buddy. So, I don't know. Kick the tires, figure it out. Ayuk! Out there in waivers, pick them up. No. No. I mean, I guess if Ayuk's out there on waivers, you can put him on your IR. I'm not using a bench spot for Ayuk, but I put him on my IR, but I've actually dropped him from my IR to use him to use that spot just because I've needed it. I'm trying to look up to see if we've got any recent information on him. But I want to say last I saw, the GM came out, John Lynch, and said they're not even close to seeing him come back. So he wasn't great when he went out last year. He's coming off a bad ACL tear. Weeks away is what he said, the GM. So if you have the IR spot, sure, but I'm not wasting a bench spot for Brandon Ayuk. I don't know. I don't think he has any fantasy relevance this year. Yeah. Sorry, Corey. Who has an open IR spot? That's what I'm saying. You probably don't have an open IR spot, so you're probably not putting them there. Look, my home league, we still have 2 IR spots. COVID hit. We had 3 that year. And I just took away 1 and took us back to 2. And whole league was like, oh, hey, Brian, didn't we only ever have 1? I was like, oh, I can't remember. Let's stick with the 2. So we got a pretty deep league in my home league, but I do some shady crap. Got to play to win, folks. Game face. KB football, what's happening? Is Diggs finally worth starting? Yeah, buddy. Diggs is worth starting. He's looked great in the last 2 weeks. Obviously, he had to come in this past week in the rivalry game, but 100 yards over the last 2 weeks. He's ran the most routes of the wide receivers in the past 2 nights. Fell back to 64% and then back up to 82% the previous week. I think this is 46% of the targets on his routes. I think I drafted Diggs everywhere. Finally got to the point where I was dropping him week 3, and look what happened. Picked back up. But yeah, Diggs right now, especially as we go through injuries and bye weeks, Diggs will be a starter for me. I think I've got him top 30 this week, maybe top 24. Let me pull that up. But yeah, give me some Diggs. Dig them up home. Like Holes movie. Y'all seen that? Back in the day. They're remaking it, by the way. I don't know. They recast. They're changing the sex of the main character, so it's going to be a girl digging holes. I don't know if it's going to be a complete remake, or maybe this is the old girls' camp that cause I'm pretty sure the original movie, it ended and it turned into a camp for girls. Maybe it's a continuation of that. I don't know. Small thing on that. And it's a football podcast, so that's what we're talking about. But if you are looking for movies, Too Much Movie Night, a movie podcast, go check it out. We do drafts, check out movies, all sorts of fun stuff. Corey, feed me. Hit me with that lineup stuff, man. You got a lineup that needs fixing. We've got a game coming up in 2 days. What is our game? Let's do a little preview of that Thursday night game. Eagles at Giants, son of a gun. The one we've been dreading all day. 4-1 Eagles taking on the 1-4 Giants. Scatabo, and I'm out. I think that's the only thing I want to start in the Giants. Superflex League, if you're really you want to get nasty with it, start Dart. But yeah, the wide receivers, I don't know if I'm doing. Theo Johnson, you probably have safer options. Then again, his workload has been just awesome with Jackson Dart. 7 targets and 5 targets the last 2 weeks. He's got 3 touchdowns in those 2 games combined. Yeah, it's not a pretty one. Check out the over/under on that bad boy. Again, folks, check out the show. Too Much Fantasy Football. We've got tons of betting for you. I'm humbly trying to say we're doing pretty good on the props. We're making some money. Love to be able to share that with y'all. Come on over, hang out with us. We got tons of fun stuff. 40.5 is our over/under right now for the Eagles-Giants game. So not a lot of points. Philly's favored by 7.5 points. That seems about right. Divisional game, maybe we get something crazy. KB coming back at us. What do we got? Drafted Diggs everywhere as well, but right now my starters are Wilson and Olave. I think Diggs is going to have a higher upside than Olave. I've been crapping all over Olave. Let me change how I word that. Olave's great as far as consistency. The double-digit targets is redonkulous. I think he's a great floor play. I think he's a great consistency play. But the dude's never broke 20 points. Like, ever in his career. I know he spends a lot of time in the hospital, but Mark Sanchez is taking up a bed right now, so he doesn't have time for that. I just think Diggs is like ultimately the bigger ceiling. Out of the two of these guys, Diggs is a red zone threat, despite him not being the physical type for that. So like, I'd probably be flexing in Diggs over Olave, but I wouldn't fault you for playing Olave. Not at all. I'm not sure if I should give it another week or try and move him while he's high. I don't mind either one. I think he will hold. I don't know that any other Patriots pass catcher, wide receiver will actually be a consistent piece for the Patriots. Kyle Williams was really the only one outside of Diggs that I had hoped for, just as far as being a second-round draft pick. Or was he second or third? I thought he was day 2 pick regardless. Being a day 2 pick, I thought he was going to come in and help out. Hasn't really been the case. We've had some booty action, and I think it's going to be Diggs, and the rest of the guys will just have a role. Kind of like Denver. It's Sutton, and then Mims has a little bit here. Franklin has a little bit here. Maybe the rookie comes out at some point and gives us a game. Vele last year was, popped up in that spot, but I don't know. Tingley, tickle me again. What you got? Do you think Henry or Kamara would be any closer for a trade using Dobbins, Swift, or White? I mentioned these others because the owner. If you could move them, I'm cool with it. Better days are ahead for Henry, but I also understand that we only have so many weeks and you can't necessarily wait forever. So I don't mind them moving on from either one of these. Are we hoping that Kamara gets traded? Do we want to see him go to Arizona? See him go to the Chargers? It's a hell of a lot of money. And I've almost heard that it's impossible, but it's the NFL. Nothing's possible, right? As long as it's in the script, we can make it happen. But yeah, I'm definitely worth. It's hard to make a 3-for-1 trade. I will say that if you're trading 3 running backs for one, not that it is collusion, but it can look like collusion. And usually, when you're getting more players back in a trade, you almost always lose as far as value goes. Sometimes as far as the makeup of the rosters, it makes sense, and it can be a win for both players. But usually you don't win unless you're doing this trade in week 1, week 2, and we don't have a full value grasp. But at the same time, you're shooting a shot. It's crapshoot. So if you can make it happen, go for it. I support you. Go make the trade. But I'm just saying that you got to tiptoe through that situation when you're 5-0 trading with the 1-4 team. It looks sketchy. And I don't like to put myself in a position where I can be called out for crap like that. Dyson coming back here. We're going to be ending here in just a few minutes, folks. For any last thoughts, throw them up here. Thoughts on Taysom Hill? Any 3 weeks out? Early waiver wire pickups. So I'm not fighting the other people for a pickup. Yeah, I think he's worth an ad. 10-team leagues, no. 12+ team leagues, he's Taysom Hill. I really thought his career was over. He's what, 36, right? I'm pretty sure he's 36. But he's 35. He tore his ACL last year, man. 35 years old. You're a running, passing, catching, whatever tight end. But the dude can ball. He had 3 top 5 finishes last week, including 2 number 1 overalls. The year before that, we got 7 top five finishes, including 4 in a row. He's just so he's the underdog play. You're going in a week, you're down 15, you're down 10. Somebody blew up on Thursday night, maybe you got an injury. You play Taysom Hill. You know, he is your if any Survivor fans out there, he's your shot in the dark. When you don't want to go to tribal council and you don't want to go vote on you guys, you take your shot in the dark because it's like I'm going home anyway. Let me go down shining, and he's the fireworks you drop at the end. Oh no, I wouldn't sell all 3. Oh yeah, I got you. You're trying to get those in the mix with those players. Yeah, any mix of those 5, I'd be totally down if you can get Cook for. Whatever you think they think are the best 2, I think Cook would be better than any of them. So yeah, totally. If you can get some sort of like shuffle up there, I think it would be great, and your team be doing pretty good if you can get Cook on there. Nice. Yeah, but Mathiasen back on Taysom Hill. I shoot the shot. Now I don't know if you ever actually will know when to play him outside of like injuries or something like that. But yeah, it's always fun. It's always fun. 2 for 1, sure, but just looking to level up my running backs. Absolutely. Like I said, let me pull up my running back rest of the season. Achan's one I believe in. If somebody is doubting over there as far as what Tua can do, I don't mind that. Chase Brown, you might not be able to buy cheap right now because the owner might think that they have a little bit more leverage with Joe Flacco, but I don't hate kicking the tires on that just to see if you can get it cheap enough. Ashton Genzy's actually somebody I'm kind of selling on. I'd be willing to. I just don't think that team's going to get any better. But Javonte Williams the rest of the season, he has to be somebody that you look at. Breece Hall, like I don't mind. I think you can buy him at like lower RB2 numbers, and I think you might get closer to like fringe RB1 numbers. Quinchon, dude's too sexy. You're not going to be able to buy him. Cam Scatabo, you might be able to get Cam Scatabo in the next week or 2. If it really gets rough for the Giants and it does not look good, it looks grim, the team's not doing well, you may be able to pull away with that. Ken Walker, I think, is another guy. Look, folks, it's so much better than it's wild because I think Kubiak's amazing as far as what he's doing out there, but it's moronic. So in the games that Walker and Charbonnet have played together, Walker's at 5.62 yards per carry, Charbonnet's at 2.75. Backfield carry splits 52% Walker, 48% Charbonnet. Carries inside the 10, Charbonnet's got 8, Walker's got 3, 2 of which came this past week. So maybe that's a sign that Clint's realizing, hey, Charbonnet may be the smart, cerebral running back that I want, but the explosive talent is in Ken Walker. And that's freaking irritating. But I'd go buy Ken Walker if you can get him cheap. If the person that has him is freaking out thinking they're just holding a ticking time bomb, yeah, give it to me. Travion Henderson, maybe we should give up. Maybe he's not a buy. Bashal Tootin, as we're like digging down deep, he's still somebody I'm willing to go buy. Yeah, give it a shot, man. Give it a shot. And Taysom Hill, immortal. Yes, we look upon the Taysom Hill and the Saints bringing us many to championship, hopefully. But that's all I got, folks. They're giving me the light. They're flashing it at me. We appreciate you. It's just me. Nobody else is appreciating it right now. It's all me. But yes, I appreciate all y'all hopping in the chat, keeping this thing rocking and rolling, all the fun times. Looking for more great content. It's here. It's always here. It's on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. We have live shows just about every single day of the week. We've got pre-recorded stuff coming out all the time. Check out all the list of podcasts. Head on over to the website, fsan.com, where we have the articles. We've got the videos. We've got the community. So many great things. If you're looking for more of me, you got the podcast, Too Much Fantasy Football or Too Much Movie Night. We also got got our own channel over on YouTube if you want to go check out that. Too Much Fantasy Football, Too Much Movie Night. I do a little bit of different content over there. Maybe a little bit more. I can say what there's no bleep button over there. I guess that is what I'll say. And maybe it's just when I get down a rabbit hole and I want to explore something, we do some fun collaborative jazz. So check it out. But otherwise, the rest of my content's going to be over here on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. Thanks for... Oh, wait. We got somebody in here. Tyler, what's happening? Got you right before we get out of here. Grab Taylor or Tonjes. Drop Juwan Johnson. Yeah, I'm down to drop Juwan Johnson. Tonjes, I guess, is the short-term play. Mason Taylor's the long-term. If you just need to play this week, this and maybe next week, it'd probably be Tonjes. I think his ceiling's ultimately higher. But if you're looking for a guy that potentially could give you multiple starts over the next few weeks, it's going to be Mason Taylor for me. Once George Kittle comes back, Tonja's, he's going to fall down the pecking order a little bit. So yeah, short term there, long term there. Well, thanks everybody for popping in. We appreciate you hanging out. We'll see you next time, 3 o'clock every Tuesday, Walking the Wire with Too Much Fantasy Football. I'm Brian, Too Much _ Brian. We'll see you. Thanks for listening. All the fun stuff. Bye.